When it comes to Hummers in GTA 5, as you know, we already have the Mammoth Patriot based on the Hummer H2, and we also have the Patriot military spec based on the Hummer H1. Well, now we finally have this. This is the Mammoth Patriot Sport, and this is of course based on the Hummer H3, and I thought we'd just check this thing out. As well, I enjoyed the other ones. The Hummer H2 to me looked a bit weird. The Hummer H1 version I thought looked very cool. But I feel like this one is a nice happy medium between the two. So I thought we'd check it out and do a couple of builds. See what it's like. Let's just check it out. So here we are with everything open. The trunk opens like this. And we have a clamshell hood that opens like this, which is very cool. So here is the engine bay. It's very simple, little bit of 3D-ness, a little bit of not 3D, very basic and simple. We have the rear end, the boot. This bit is a bit of an odd texture compared to everything else, but whatever, that's fine. And then we have our very, very spacious interior. Look at the amount of space you get in here. Ridiculous, but this is otherwise just a very basic GTA interior. So onto customs, and we actually have quite a few parts to look at here. So on the rear, on the spoiler, we have the stock. We have the chrome rear bumper molding apparently on the spoiler, if you want to have that in chrome. We have that in primary color, which is instantly better, or we have that in secondary color, which could be quite good, so we can have a black painted bumper setup potentially. I'm going to keep that in primary for now, but we'll see how we go. On the front bumper, lots of options here. We have the stock. We have the chrome version. We have the secondary color version. There we go. We can get that painted. That's nice. We have the metal stock bumper with winch. We have those in the chrome and secondary color as well. We have the metal Baja bumper. We have that in chrome and secondary color. It's nice to have these options. Very cool. Then we have the metal one in different combinations. We have the metal thin in some different combinations. We have the metal tube bumper with winch. We have the custom... God, it looks awful, doesn't it? The custom street bumper. And then that in full... Oh my God, it looks awful. Oh God. Why? Why does this exist? Oh, it looks terrible. Oh, the humanity. Because... like, when you see the shape of this car and how much of this is just like arch, you realize that this is like dangling plastic because it really doesn't need to be there. Look at this. It's just dangling fiberglass and plastic. Yeah, we're definitely not going to go with that on any build. Do not expect that to come up. I do like this one though, with the bit underneath. It has like a very cool simplistic style to it, especially in the secondary color, that I quite like, to try and get like a bare bones military version of the H3, because I know the H3 is definitely more of a civilian vehicle. I'm definitely more of a fan of the more rugged and raw Hummers. So I'm going to go for the secondary thin. Then we have lots of options in the back. We have the stock, we have the chrome rear, we have the secondary color, so we'll definitely be going for a secondary color at least. We then have the metal stock. We'd probably need to put this into the sunlight so we can actually see it. Okay, that's better. So we have the metal stock bumper in the different combinations. We have the metal armor bumper in our different combinations. And then, oh my God, we have the custom street bumper with the fake exhausts. Oh no, it's awful. And then we have this one. Oh God, it looks so bad. So bad. Then we have that in, I'm guessing that's secondary color. And then we have that in primary color. It looks awful. Let's just not. I think for this particular one where I've got this very basic rear end, I should go for the secondary stock bumper. And to match up, I might go for the secondary rear bumper moldings as well. On the skirts, we have the stock. We have the metal slat steps. We have those with chrome and secondary color. And then we have the tube steps in the different combos. And then we have the more disgusting street skirt. Oh God, it looks awful. Actually, I'm just going to show you what they all look like so we can get it out of the way. There you go. That's what it looks like. There's the front. There's the side. There's the rear. Let's never speak about this kit again, shall we? And on this one, let's go for the secondary color tube steps. Nice and basic. On the exhaust, where is the exhaust? It is here. We have the stock. We have the quad version. We have the dual cannon, the dual oval, the dual offset, which might be a cool one to go for, the side exits, We then have the secondary color side exits, which is very cool. And then we have custom street exhaust for that bumper that we looked at earlier that we really don't want. That's if you want the actual genuine exhausts and not the fakes. I think I'm going to go for the dual offset right there. On the chassis, we have the options of a foot... Michael, what are you doing? We have the stock, we have the metal, we have the chrome, we have the secondary, and this goes all the way throughout the car and through the dash as well. I don't really want to go for that vibe, especially because it would be nice to have this usable. So I'm not going to go for that at all. I'm going to keep that stock. On the grille, we have the options of the stock, the plastic, the primary, and the secondary. And I quite liked how it looked in the chrome. But as we have that secondary color bumper, maybe we'll go for primary at the top, just so it matches that sort of two-tone look that we're going for. On the hood, we have the stock, we have the primary color vents, we have the secondary color vents, which is just the internal part of the vent, which is very good. Then we have the plastic vents, and then we have the chrome vents. Let's just go for plastic vents, I think. It does also have these two massive vents here and here as well, which presumably are for the aircon and something. On the fenders, we have a plastic snorkel on the side, or we have it in chrome, or we have it in secondary color. I definitely like this sort of... I'm going for this bare bones look, but at the same time making it a bit higher class with it being painted rather than plastic. So I'm going to go for secondary snorkel. Then we have lots of bull bar options here. We have the stock, we have the metal, we have the chrome, we have the secondary. Then we have this one in the different color combos. We have this one. That's kind of an interesting one. Kind of very H1E. Then we have that with the fog lights as well. We have... no, this is like the original one. This is like the original Patriot. It does make it look like he's got glasses on. So we have that. We have ones with fog lights. We have a full massive one that goes over most of the bonnet as well. Then we have that in secondary. We then have that with the lights and all those combos to finish. I don't know. I kind of wanted to go with that one for the classic look, but at the same time, I don't really think it matches this particular car. So I'm going to go for the secondary square brush guard on there, as I think that makes it look utilitarian, but not overly so. Then on the roof, we have lots of roof rack options as well. We have the metal roof rack. That is a massive roof rack. We then have that in chrome and secondary color. We then have this with the fog lights in different combos. We have the metal Merryweather for the full external exoskeleton look, although I'm sure it probably could get even further than that. We also have that with lights and those to finish. I was actually expecting a bigger exoskeleton, but at least it's something pretty substantial. Not really the look I want to go for, but I do quite like having the lights here with the secondary color. I think that looks very cool. Then we can upgrade our engine, our brakes, our transmission, our suspension we don't really need to drop, and in fact it makes no real visual change. Or actually it does, but it's so minute it's barely even registerable. Well, we'll give that competition suspension because maybe it'll handle better. Well, obviously armor upgrade, not like you can see it visually, but for the sense of this car, why not? We then have the extra, which is actually going to be the rear wheel, and it kind of looks a bit odd and bare bones without it, although it does make it lighter. But then if you want to have that sort of extra, not safety, but you know what I mean, when you're out in the bush or something like that and you need a spare tire, you're probably going to need it. So yeah, we should probably keep that on. On for liveries, we have the stock, we have this terrible looking American style one, and that's it. No thank you, we'll keep that stock. We'll add a turbo. Windows, we could probably give it a light tint. Paints now, and I did say I was going for a military-esque look, so let's see what we got here. I do feel like moss brown, which is sort of like a green, might be a really good one to go for. I didn't want to go for a matte color. I wanted this to be glossy. I still wanted it to be cool, but I wanted that military spec. But the thing is that if we were to make this military spec but civilian owned, then obviously we can go for whatever color we want. But I'm saving the Larry colors for the next build because I'm going to try something a bit goofy. So moss brown it is. And on the secondary color, what does it look like if we actually just combine and add... Ooh, no. No. I think we should just go for classic black. Yeah, we could jump that dirt level up if we wanted. It still makes it look nice and shiny though. Just makes it look a little bit more worn. We'll keep that down. We'll keep it nice and clean for now. So we do have a couple of little extras as well. We also have the interior color, which we can now make black or any color we want. I want to keep it black. Actually, graphite. It's a nicer tone of black. We then have a 10,000 watt in-car entertainment system, which is basically going to be the world's smallest. There is not much box for this. Yeah, I don't really like this reverse fitted sub look thing. So, yeah, there's a terrible looking sound system install. We're going to go with no. And then we also have the option of mud flaps, which I think actually suits this very nicely. Wheels then, the stock wheels look good, but let's see what we got in the off-road section. So looking through these, I feel like Mountain Man or Ridge Climber definitely fit this car the most. I'm going to go for Mountain Man, and I could even make it black just to match. I think that looks good. And there it is, ready to do some off-roading on a coffee cup. That is the world's strongest coffee cup. Actually, it's not even coffee. It's up an atom. It's a drink. It's a Coke. It's a Coca-Cola cup. Amazing. But I do like that look where we can get it sort of just up like that. Looks very cool. And in fact, what we could do here is we can go to V-Stancer and we go to our track width and we could just bring that out just a little bit. And we will on the rear as well, just to make it look a bit more cool and rugged. And there is our first build. I think looks very nice. I've always thought the H2 looked a bit terrible. I like that the H3 has a few more things that make it like the original, like the H1. And I think that having it like this to try and make it a bit more bare bones does look very cool. I still think the H1 is the best Hummer. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I'm going to try something a little bit daring for this next build. So let's park up and, well, let's make something that might be potentially brilliant or terrible. Well, it's daring, but I've done it. Look at it. Look at this thing. Because of the size of the windows and how high the door line is, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. I know we're on quite a hill. Let me just straighten that up for us. It looks a bit weird now. But look at that. Absolutely ridiculously low compared to... Oh, that it does not go in a straight line anymore, does it? That is how that looks, and the proportions look great when it's lifted. But as soon as it gets low, just look at this thing. Absolutely ridiculous. Wow. What an amazing combo. That is definitely two ends of the extreme. I want you guys to let me know which one you'd rather have. I don't think many people are going to go for this, but imagine seeing a slammed Hummer like that at a car show. That would be something. That's definitely a statement maker. I've tried to make this as low as possible. That is almost as low as it can go. In fact, physically, it is actually going through the floor. So, yeah, that doesn't really work. Wow. And I tried to camber it just to try and get some even more stupidity out of this thing. Paint scheme-wise, that was a green. So I went for a brighter green. And I went with chrome and everything. Seems that was all painted nicely. I thought I'd go in the opposite way and go for chrome. That is definitely a look. I still think that I prefer the original. I think the original is actually a perfect, nice thing, but you might consider that a bit boring. This one, definitely something different and new. Well, if you guys have got all the way to the end of the video, you can say Vinewood in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Oh my god, that's the style police coming after me. If you've enjoyed the video, you can hit that like button, subscribe, all those things. And if you just want me to do more builds and see more builds right now, then click the screen. Click on that link right there on the screen. That will take you to another build video on this channel. But other than that, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.